So it's time to change the blade on your mower, and I'm going to share with you 3 mistakes not to make, how to avoid them. I'm going to show you how to do this safely. Hey everybody, Chad Cruiser here with Health and Homestead. Obviously doing this is going to save you money and it's going to give you a better cut on your lawn. So let's get to it. There's a few things you're going to need. You're going to need at least 4 things to replace the blade on your mower. Number 1, you're either going to need some channel locks, a vice grip, or an old-fashioned piece of wood. You can have either one. You can have either a socket or a regular old wrench. Then you'll obviously need a new blade, and for safety, you're going to want to have a pair of gloves. Safety first. One of the most important things is if you are wrenching away on it, there is always a possibility, depending on your mower, that it could actually turn the blade and it could fire up while your hands are in there, and you could take off a finger or two, and obviously we're looking to avoid that. And the very first thing to do to avoid that is you want to remove the spark plug cap. So you're going to take the wire off there, and that will do that. So most mowers, you're going to find it right on the front of the mower. You can see it here. Mine, it's kind of tucked under, hidden away, and it's even hard to tell that it is it. But sure enough, all you have to do is simply pop it off like that. And you want to make sure you can put a plastic bag on it, and that will help you make sure that it stays far enough away that it doesn't connect in and end up cutting your fingers off. Number 2, you have to tip it over, and you think, great, I'll just throw it on its side. The trouble is you could actually damage something. Well, you know, it could be fixed, but you may end up, if you tip it the wrong way, you might end up having fuel rushing into your air filter, and if you do that, it might get all gunked up, and if you have a paper air filter, it may actually damage it. So that's something you want to avoid. So typically, you want to tip up the side that has the carburetor and the filter if you can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be tipping it this way. You may want to even read the manual that comes with your particular mower to find out what side to tip it up on so that you don't pour, you know, fuel throughout the system where it should not be going. So I'm going to tip it up this way. This one will simply tip back. All right, so once again, first things first, I'm going to put my gloves on just so that I don't get cut, and it's a wise thing to do. It's very easy. Your hand slips, you're wrenching away on it, and your hand slips off, and you just take a slice out of a finger or your hand, and you don't want to do that. And the simplest way to remove it is actually to use channel locks, because you have to find a way to get this from twisting as you're trying to wrench down on it. Now, when you're trying to loosen it, you do the old righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, just like you would on most jobs. But in this situation, what you can do is you can put a channel locks right up and tighten it down, but you'll notice on mine, it actually doesn't quite work. So it's not close enough to the edge. On most of them, you're gonna be able to simply use the channel locks and it's gonna hit it, and then it's not gonna be able to turn anymore. So in my situation, the channel locks don't work. For you, it probably will. You could try that out. The other way is, you know, you can use the old caveman way. You could use a 2x4. I'm using a piece of firewood that I'll be using to heat my home this fall. And what I can simply do is I can put it on its side over here, and it will stay in place either way. It's going to jam up against there, and you can really wrench away on it like this. So remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Another mistake you could make is forgetting which way to put it on. Now, if you've already taken off and you don't know which way it was on before, I'm going to show you a simple way so that you can figure it out. But the best thing to do is pay attention how it is when you're taking it off. Now, that's obviously anytime you're working on anything, you always want to be paying attention, but you sometimes forget anyway. So I'm going to show you. So what you can do is you take the new one, and it's hard to tell with my old one because it's so damaged from hitting rocks and roots and every good thing in the ground there. When you look at it, if you notice, it has these wings on the edge. Now, those wings you want pointed up toward the top of the mower. You want them pointed away from the ground. If they're pointed toward the ground, they're going to be more prone to smacking rocks, smacking, small roots in the ground or whatever it is. So you want these wings pointed upward, up towards the top of the mower. So even if you've forgotten, that's okay, but it's always good to pay attention. That's one of the key things. But doing that could damage the actual blade itself, but you could damage the crankshaft from bending it. It's going to be much more prone to doing that. So simply put it on the right way. So once we have this one taken off, it is as simple as putting the new one back on, always being careful to make sure that the blades, the wings rather, are pointed upward. All right, now that we've got that done, we can simply remove our piece of wood and get our tools out of the way here and tip it back up. And now what comes next, you probably remember, it won't turn on because we have the spark plug off. So now I'll just come and put the spark plug back on, just simply pushing it on. And that's really all there is to it, except one more thing. Now that it's ready to go, you might think, well, I'll just, start it on up. It can be that some of the fuel can get up into areas that it really shouldn't be right now. So allowing probably 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, 10 would be better. Allow 10 minutes for it to settle back down, and then you should be good to go. You should be ready to mow your lawn and to go about your business. Being able to do this is going to simply save you money and save you from having to bring your entire mower into some small engine repair place or the hardware store and have them do it. So simple, you might as well do it, save yourself some money, and you always feel good when you've done a day's work. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button. God bless and have a fantastic day.